like all these companies, schools, universities, like freaking everything is onboarding this stuff like crazy. And this is what you're subjecting your workers to when you start doing these like confession sessions. A woman reached out to me, an Indian woman, and she's telling me that they had to have a brown fragility training at their work. And so they came in and started explaining. Fragility? Yeah, it's really even worse than white fragility too. It's basically the same thing, except you also have to deal with the fact that you're a victim of white supremacy while you're upholding it. Because brownness has anti-blackness built into it also, apparently now. Man. Things
are getting crazy.
It's getting dark. And so anyway, they have these trainings.
Flower bed.
I can't. Actually.
You can't say that either. We have to bleep that. You use the G word on a Christian podcast.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among.
That's close enough.
I know what you're supposed to do when you mess up. I was Catholic. I know how to deal with this. I know exactly what to do.
Do better, James.
That's right. No, so this woman though, she emails me, and it's like the other aspect, the other side of it, right? Instead of having to listen to how racist, your coworkers have secretly been against you for years or whatever, according to the doctrine. There's this other aspect in the brown fragility training where it's like, all right, now you all have to start interrogating your anti-blackness as brown people. And so they separate all brown people and made them go through this. And then they're interrogating it. And then it's like, we need to interrogate your feelings of defensiveness. Let's go around the room and have all of you admit it. So imagine you're the person who's like, what is this crap? You're being like, what if you don't have anything to say? What if you're like, I don't really have these I've never done that. You're just going to get called out for refusing to interrogate your feelings, and you're going to get called defensive. And the brown fragility or white fragility, if you're white, or white adjacent fragility or white passing fragility tornado is going to sweep you up. So then you kind of have to find some story in your past and like gin it up. And like, of course, you're going to have at least like 3 or 4 people in there who are already crying by this point. And it's just, what a disaster. I mean, I keep getting stories told to me about what happens when these things, really come into the workplace. Not where it's like, oh, my company made us sit through a Zoom thing and I kind of rolled my eyes the whole time. And I was like, but when it's like, these things are like, I don't even know what to call that, but it's not cool. And I don't see how anybody in their right mind believes that this is going to improve their working environment or educational opportunities or whatever. It's so, and then of course, what happens if everything becomes more delicate and everybody's afraid everything these people have been trained now to see is going to be interpreted as more racism. And so, the department, the organization, the company, the society is even more racist. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Of racism and sexism and transphobia and homophobia and ableism and fat phobia and classism. And we could just continue with what Judith Butler called that, exasperated, etc.
Did Robin DiAngelo also write Brown Fragility?
I don't know that there's a book.
I wonder if she's working on a series or not. Maybe she's going to do the whole rainbow.
She actually has quite a few books. Somebody sent me a paper she wrote in 2013 that talks about white neurosis. That's a formal term that all white people have. And the racial cray-cray. I'm not making that up. That's the real word.
Racial cray-cray?
Racial cray-cray. And the racial cray-cray apparently is
this a children's book?
What white people have as a result of their racial neurosis and white fragility. Neurosis and white fragility. And so that makes them crazy around the topic of race. But then that craziness gets pushed onto people of minority races. Minoritized races. I forgot that they're being forced to be minoritized, which is secretly a way to make sure that even if they're the numerical majority, that they're still victims. So it's like, I don't know what you do. I mean, this is mental, but I think brown fragility too. I just saw it on Twitter a few weeks ago and started hearing it from like immediately. And now it's in corporate trainings and all of this crazy stuff. So brown fragility, brown complicity, brown privilege, these things are like the hot thing so that they can basically nuke Asians, Mexicans, and other Hispanics and people from South Asia.
We're just going to go right back. We're just going backwards. It's insane.
This is like they built a bullet train, one of those bullet trains that goes like as fast as an airplane almost, straight into like the bad old days is what this is. Right back. It's like, how do we go back to like the very racist past that they use as the only evidence of their stuff, which was hundreds of years ago, but also like how do we get there literally tomorrow, like as fast as humanly possible. So it's not a cool thing, and people are freaking out, and so my email is like sort of a nightmare.